It's 4:30. This is WKYT This Morning. Lexington Catholic High School is facing multiple lawsuits from former students. More on the discrimination those students say they face just ahead. Friends of a Marine who was killed in a car crash last year want a memorial built in his honor. Why they're asking for help, that's coming up. And an Eastern Kentucky restaurant raising money to help the family of a murder victim. We'll have details on that fundraiser and your weather forecast ahead on WKYT This Morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Bill Bryant, and it's so good to have you on WKYT on this Wednesday. We've made it to Hump Day. We'll get through this week and to probably some better weather. In fact, let's check in. Meteorologist Micah Harris is tracking things still a little on the muggy side this morning.
Yeah, that's exactly right, and we're going to hold on to that throughout the next couple of days, and then things change as we get off towards your weekend and into early next week, especially early next week. You'll absolutely love Monday's forecast on my 7-day Defender Radar Network. There is the look. A couple of showers back toward eastern Kentucky and Pike County, and then work your way northbound, an isolated shower here or there. But really the bulk of it, that's some heavy rain right there heading toward E-Town, and it will roll up the Bluegrass Parkway here within the next hour and a half. So just keep in mind, most of that is headed our direction. More storms in the forecast today, obviously. 80 degrees, though. It's getting better, and we'll show you that 7-day coming up in about 10 minutes.
We'll see you then. Let's get to the news. Former Lexington Catholic high school students are suing the school. They claim discrimination has been going on there for years. Lexington Catholic now faces 3 lawsuits in all, which were filed yesterday afternoon. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to both the attorney representing the students and some school leaders.
The allegations first surfaced in April, but a civil rights attorney representing the former students says nothing was done to fix it.
This is serious. We need to correct these errors, and we're going into open court to do so.
Lawsuits filed in Fayette Circuit Court outline alleged discrimination that attorneys say has gone on for several years at Lexington Catholic High School. According to one lawsuit, a female white student was sexually harassed for 3 semesters until she withdrew from the school. 2 male black students claim they were bullied because of their race. The lawsuit says they were on the receiving end of racist comments and text messages like, "I'm gonna lynch you," "Go back to Africa," and "I'll hire you to pick my cotton." The school's vice president for advancement told me in a statement that they are aware of the lawsuit, but that it's their policy not to comment on legal matters. The plaintiff's attorney says administrators stonewalled parents' requests for help. The complaint claims, quote, there was a pattern and practice of racial bullying pervading the culture and hallways at LCHS that went unchecked by school officials.
It has been a very revealing 4 months, a very distressing 4 months to know that such a revered institution could conduct itself in this way.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And when the claims first came out last spring, Lexington Catholic brought in a diversity consultant and established a new committee at the school to oversee diversity and ethics. But the plaintiff's attorney says that did not help. Friends of a Powell County Marine want to make sure that his memory lives on for years to come. Tyler Brewer died in a car crash in Powell County in January of last year. His friends want to have a fountain built in a park that will be a memorial for him. But they say they need some help for that to happen. Our Monique Blair has more on the story.
He had a big impact. He really did.
More than a year and a half has passed since 23-year-old Marine Corporal Tyler Brewer was killed in a car accident. But the memories he left behind have not faded.
Tyler was one of a kind. He was one of those guys that actions definitely spoke louder than words, because there were no words to describe Tyler.
So because actions meant so much to Brewer, his close friend Chelsea Nolan decided she wanted a practical, permanent way to keep her cherished friend's memory alive forever, a dual drinking fountain.
Whether somebody's just walking their dog or just walking themselves, like either way they're going to be able to stop and get refreshed, and if anything, Tyler was refreshing.
The dual drinking fountain will be installed here in the heart of Stanton, here at the city park, and Nolan says she hopes it serves a very special purpose.
And people are going to be able to stop and think about him.
Nolan says the city has agreed to cover the installation costs, but $3,500 is still needed to pay for the fountain. So she has created a GoFundMe page in an effort to raise that money.
This is important to a lot of people, and anything helps.
So as Corporal Brewer rests in peace, his legacy will be kept alive forever.
The local Dennis and daughter monuments, they'll be donating a plaque that says, to man's best friend from our best friend, Corporal Tyler Scott Brewer.
In Powell County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
And for more information on how you can donate to that cause, you can go to WKYT.com. 82,000 people in Southern California's mountain communities have been told to evacuate because of a wildfire. Firefighters say an 8-square-mile fire is threatening the town of Wrightwood. They say it is showing no signs of slowing down. The fire has also shut down a stretch of Interstate 15, which is the main route between Southern California and Las Vegas. Firefighters say they are not sure what caused this fire, but investigators say a separate fire that destroyed nearly 200 buildings in Northern California was set on purpose. Police have made an arrest in that case. Family members of a man killed in an officer-involved shooting in Harlan County last week say police have not given them any answers about what led to his death. Police say a Lexington fire investigator shot Mark Sawaf last week in Harlan County. Sawaf was arrested in June after investigators say he placed explosives in trail cameras. Police brought Sawaf from jail to Harlan County last week to look for those cameras with explosives. The ATF and firefighters were helping. Police say Sawaf was shot after he tried to escape and fought with them. But Sawaf's friends and family say they believe he cooperated the whole time.
He was handcuffed. They took him into the woods. He was showing where these devices were, and he never came out alive.
Family members say they have tried asking police for answers. Police say they are still interviewing witnesses and will release more information when the investigation is complete. Police suspect recent textbook thefts at the University of Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky University, and Morehead State University could all be connected. UK leaders think a well-organized group of thieves broke into the offices of the College of Nursing building over the weekend and stole books. And they say this theft is similar to others elsewhere on campus earlier in the summer.
Textbooks are a valuable commodity. I'm sure there's a market out there for that kind of thing. Textbooks are quite valuable, can be expensive, and so those would be the kinds of valuables along with other things that you would think about that ought to be locked down before you leave for the night.
Morehead State University police say they have had 5 reports of textbook thefts recently, and they have a suspect in that. And EKU leaders say some textbooks were stolen from their campus earlier this summer as well. An Eastern Kentucky restaurant is raising money to help the family of a murder victim. Police say Robert Jones and his girlfriend, Crystal Warner, were both killed last month. Police have made an arrest in the case. Warner's body still has not been found, but Jones's body was found in Clark County. His family lives in Letcher County, and the Pizza Hut in Whitesburg donated part of its sales to his family. Friends say they're grateful for fundraisers like this one.
The family is needing the help right now because we're still looking for Crystal. I mean, the family ain't going to stop and the friends ain't going to stop until Crystal's found too. So the travel and the hard times going on, trying to travel and find things and stuff. So the fundraisers have been absolutely amazing.
The restaurant is including a portion of its online sales from yesterday in its donation as well. A Lexington restaurant had a mess to clean up after a car crashed into the building. That happened about 4:30 yesterday afternoon at a Vietnamese restaurant in Woodhill Shopping Center. No one was injured, and people at the restaurant say only one person was inside at the time. Police are not sure what caused the car to crash right into that restaurant. Lexington city leaders will consider making changes to the permitting process for special events. It comes after a Luke Bryan concert at Talon Winery last fall, which caused massive traffic backups on Tates Creek Road. The winery was allowed to have the concert because a planning ruling allows wineries to have special events without alerting city leaders. Well, according to our news partners at the Herald-Leader, city leaders are now looking at a proposal that would require a permit for any event that would draw at least 50 people and would require at least 2 city services. Any event that uses city streets or sidewalks would need a permit as well. Coming up on 440 on WKYT this morning, we're just getting started on your Wednesday. Sure is good to have you with us today. Public pools may not be as clean as you'd like. We'll have more on that coming up in today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
We already have some heavy rain heading our direction back toward Bowling Green, moving east and northeast. I'll show you where this is going to move into and when, coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a couple of showers back toward eastern Kentucky, you see there in Pike County, and then a few drops up toward northern zones. But the bulk of the moisture, obviously, it sticks out like a sore thumb back toward the 65 corridor, about to roll over that into E-Town and then roll up the BG Parkway. If you're sitting in Nelson County, Bardstown area, roll up Nelson County, heads up Lawrenceburg, heads up Frankfort, Shelbyville, Simpsonville, work your way down into Spencer County. That's where you're going to be seeing this heavy rain slide on in. Even portions, I'd say, of 68, you could possibly be clipped by what's going on there in Bowling Green. But other than that, really, it's the BG Parkway and northbound that's going to see the brunt of this. I'm hoping that it slides just a little bit farther south into Lexington. That'll give us a nice little round there on the yards, because Lexington really hasn't picked up that much rain the past couple of days. It's actually been bypassing us, but nonetheless, we do have the rain chances up there again today, right there around 60%. So it's a pretty good shot at it as we travel off into the afternoon especially. Now, taking you off into the next couple of days, Thursday and Friday, not bad days. I would say it's much drier than today and yesterday, but you're still having that chance of rain. Then we hit the weekend. Now, the weekend still looks really nice temperature-wise, but not so much sky condition-wise. It's going to be a nicer feel, especially there on Sunday as opposed to Saturday. Saturday at 83. Hey, that's below average, so that's working out for us. But 80 degrees on Sunday, and then you make your way off into early next week. Early next week is when you really get the brunt of that much cooler and drier air. So the cool air rushes on in, it drops that temperature, and not only that, but it drops the humidity too. But still a few storms there toward the weekend, because that's when your second front comes barreling on through. So the front that's moving through right now, that's front number one. And then what's back behind that, just a few storms here and there on Thursday and Friday, especially south of I-64. Head off towards your weekend, that's your next front, especially there on Sunday, as we'll start to see a few showers, a few rumbles of thunder slide on in. And then you can see Monday and Tuesday extremely nice conditions. We're in the upper 70s. Look, we're in the upper 70s, lower 80s today because of rain. All right, so don't get it wrong. It's not cool air today. It's because of rain. Now, Monday and Tuesday, that's a totally different story. It's just because of cool air. No rain on those days. Those days look really, really nice. So the first full week for some of us, remember Clark County goes back to school today. First full week of school next week for some of us will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Great looking weather. It'll feel great. It'll look good too.
Seldom do we see the word awesome on a
forecast.
forecast.
Especially this time of year, right?
I like that. Pull that one out of the dictionary.
That's right.
Thank you, Micah. We appreciate it. Coming up on 446, unfortunately, too many of us are not practicing good hygiene in public pools. Some disturbing survey results in today's Mom's Everyday Minute.
Nothing says summer like a dip in the local public pool. The perfect family activity keeps us cool in the heat while entertaining the kids for hours. The last thing we want interrupting this fun is a pool that is substandard in cleanliness. According to a 2012 survey from the Water Quality and Health Council, 1 in 5 Americans admit to urinating in a public pool. 40% of adults say they don't shower before jumping in. And here's something that may surprise you. A swimmer's red eye is not an indicator of too much chlorine, but that someone might have peed in the pool. That can also result in a strong chemical odor. If you notice these things, talk to someone in charge. Obviously, it's recommended to shower before swimming and keep good hygiene. And it's important to teach children the same, because swimmers play an important role in keeping swimming pools clean. For more ways to make mom's life easier, visit momseveryday.com.
And for tips just like that, go to WKYT.com. You can click on Mom's Everyday. There you'll find the latest news and weather as well, updated minute to minute. When WKYT This Morning returns, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are each facing challenges as they campaign. We'll have the latest on the race for president when we come back on WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
And it's so good to have you with us on WKYT this morning. Here we are on Wednesday. It's August 17th, and it's going to be another busy day on the campaign trail as Hillary Clinton is facing more questions about her private email server while she was Secretary of State. And Donald Trump is trying to reverse his falling poll numbers. Craig Boswell has the latest on the campaign.
Donald Trump insisted to Wisconsin voters he is the law and order candidate after days of unrest following a police shooting of an armed black man in Milwaukee.
Crime and violence is an attack on the poor and will never be accepted in a Trump administration.
Although the latest Wisconsin poll shows the billionaire trailing Hillary Clinton by 15 points, Trump said he sees no reason to change his style.
I don't want to change. If you start pivoting, you're not being honest with people.
Clinton campaigned in Philadelphia, where she avoided more questions about her private email server. Some congressional Republicans want to know why the FBI did not recommend Clinton face criminal charges. On Monday, they sent a letter to the D.C. U.S. Attorney outlining evidence of what they call perjury and false statements by Clinton when she testified about her email server last October. The FBI released notes from its interview with Clinton to Congress on Tuesday with the expectation it will not be disseminated or disclosed. Clinton's campaign said it would rather see the report released to the public than to partisan lawmakers, saying this is an extraordinarily rare step that was sought solely by Republicans for the purposes of further second-guessing the career professionals at the FBI. Based on the FBI recommendations, the Justice Department declined to press charges and considers the case closed. Craig Boswell, CBS News, the White House.
Donald Trump's spokesperson said last night that Trump will begin airing the first television ads of his general election campaign next week. The death toll from historic flooding in Louisiana has now reached 10. State leaders say the latest deaths are drownings. Louisiana's governor says at least 40,000 homes have water damage, many of them in the Baton Rouge and Lafayette areas. Cities downstream are still preparing for high water. 2 Red Cross volunteers left Lexington yesterday. They're going to be joining hundreds of others who are helping the flood victims in Louisiana. Some frightening moments in Cincinnati when a scaffold on a skyscraper collapsed, briefly trapping 2 people. That happened yesterday afternoon in the Queen City. Police say those 2 people were able to make it from the scaffold to a nearby roof at the U.S. Bank Tower. They were not injured. Police also kept people on the street below away from the building as a precaution. The scaffold was later secured. Witnesses say it was about 20 stories off the ground. Investigators are not sure what caused it to collapse. And we have an update this morning about a dog that was rescued from a trail in Powell County. Powell County Search and Rescue says the German Shepherd named Axel suffered heat exhaustion while walking with his owner on Sunday and fell down an embankment. Some other hikers helped carry the dog 3 miles to safety. Powell County Search and Rescue says the owner told them Axel is now home and appears to have fully recovered. So good deal. Axel, you go. Get back in the game. Coming up next, we'll have a look at some of the stories we're working on for you this morning. And we'll have another look at your morning weather forecast. Mike is on top of that. So good to have you with us on WKYT. Hey, good morning. Coming up on 4:57 on WKYT, and it's time to take a quick look at some of the stories our news team is working on for you this morning. A man was taken to the hospital after crashing into a Lexington building overnight. What police are saying may have caused the man to crash, coming up in just a few minutes. Let's check in with Micah now for the weather forecast as we expect some more of those showers and storms to roll through.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like, especially back toward the west. Here comes some rumbles of thunder early in the morning. If some people aren't awake, they will be awake as this passes on in. And the Bluegrass Parkway is going to be the best threat, really the chance, that is, of the threat of these thunderstorms as they slide on in. So just keep in mind, some heavy downpours on the way. Bluegrass Parkway northbound, that is the best bet to get some of this heaviest rain. So Lawrenceburg, Shelbyville, Simpsonville, Frankfort, Peaks Mill Stamping Ground, those areas here within the next hour to about hour and a half, that's when you can expect those to roll on in. We have much more in towards your afternoon coming up.